I'm gonna call it. That clock is just wrong. That's okay. We want to stand up for the salute. Elizabeth, please do ours.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, we have a quorum. Good, good. I've got a call for other business items. Anybody have anything? I have one I'm gonna add on, and that is Dr. Sandy Hare. Is a community member, and she has volunteered to lead our cleanup day, Toledo cleanup day, and so she's gonna present to us and what her plan is, and
Okay.
we'll hear from her. So that's all I have. Anybody else have anything?
The only thing that I wanted to talk about was walk in the park.
That's on the agenda.
So I'm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on your agenda. Yeah, very good, very good. Anything, Mike?
We just have a Vision Toledo meeting tonight, so it's
Okay.
6:30.
Okay, okay.
And you-
I think I'm gonna make it. Okay, so let's start for approval of the consent agenda. Did you guys read minutes?
Yeah.
Workshop,
Yeah,
okay?
looks good.
Do I hear a motion to approve
I motion to approve the.
consent?
Consent.
Mhm. And second, okay, all in favor? Aye, opposed? Well, there's nobody to oppose. Good. Okay, board reports. I don't know if anybody has, Mike, do you want to talk about the Vision Toledo? What's going on? What do we need to know?
We're just having a meeting in an hour and a half, but.
Mhm.
no.
Two.
2.5.
Yeah. Okay, very good. Okay. You're gonna Esther board, right? Okay, very good. I got nothing else to do. We don't have a public hearing. New business. So Ruth Kinder, I don't know if you guys saw the email, she resigned from the board. So we have two open positions currently. Emily has submitted her application. Also, there are a couple other people that have expressed interest. And we are getting applications out to them, so we're gonna hold off. I'm gonna push this out till our next meeting at least so that we can see if we can get a large, some different pool or larger pool.
Okay.
To pull from, see what other inputs we get, okay, or interest. One of the big things here tonight, though, is the comp plan. So did you guys take a look at the comp plan? Did the other board members? Any questions, comments?
There's one that was brought up at council last night.
Okay,
Adding the Osprey cam up at the middle school to the points of interest inventory list.
okay, somebody should get us a picture and
I can take it.
a little thing and put that in there. That would be awesome. Okay. Okay, perfect. Keep that on the Osprey cam. So I reviewed it. I'm good with it. And if you guys don't have any comments or any other corrections, then I would like to have a motion that we approve the comp plan with the addition of the Osprey cam. And then it will go to, we would take it, the next steps would be on the 30th of this month. The Planning Commission has a meeting and they're going to review it. And I would be there at the meeting to answer any questions that they have. And then after that, it would go to council as part of the comp plan, I believe. Or it might go independently.
Independently, just
Okay.
because it can stand on its own, but it will be part of
the-
their comp plan.
Excellent,
when all
Excellent.
said and done.
excellent.
Sales in future.
I so moved.
Okay,
I second.
okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Yeah, I know. Happy dance, happy dance. Okay, so Cindy, I'm gonna let you take care of that Osprey thing and then it'll be ready for next week, right? Awesome. Okay, and then let's go to the walk in the park. why don't you start us off there, Elizabeth? Could you look at what nice things we've done here?
I made the poster, and I am up for anything you guys want to change about it. I added the City of Toledo email on there because the point of interest before was Stephanie.
Oh, got it. Mhm.
And wasn't sure who we wanted our,
And we might just, I guess, did you talk to anybody in the office about? I don't know whether they would want it to go to you or to the city of Toledo, because we don't have access to that.
Right, I think-
So you might want to talk to maybe Rachel.
Rachel told me about the email.
Okay, so as long as the office is good,
Yeah.
because they're the ones that would be looking at that.
Yeah.
So,
And
and
she
we
said-
need to get the information passed on to us. then.
Yeah, she said she
Okay.
could direct to us if they can't answer.
Okay.
We're missing the name of the park that's come to 600 South Sixth. Street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you could just add
Yeah.
that, that would be
Right.
terrific.
Those obvious details we have to go over.
Yeah.
You might also put in front of the words Saturday.
Saturday,
Mhm.
September 6th.
And you shouldn't have a T on the September.
I
Only a
I
P and no,
didn't,
no,
originally, and
no,
then I
no
sent
period.
it. Okay, so
Yeah.
it's close.
Yeah,
Okay, so you don't want the T or period?
that's correct.
Okay.
Just, sorry, just little things. Yeah, looks good for me.
Do you want it to have, say, full
We-
Saturday or just Saturday,
Saturday.
September, okay.
And we might need to change some of the verbiage, because I wasn't sure that we really did we? Because we threw around the idea of mugs.
Yeah, I
You
wasn't-
know, or water bottles or something, so maybe we need to
Yeah.
kind of finalize that,
When
but
you-
that's easy enough to
Yeah,
change, yes?
yeah, whenever you guys wanna add something in there, I can
Yeah.
just jump right on.
Yeah, it looks great. I love the tree with the swing and all that too, and having Esther's picture there. Yeah, did the rest of you guys see this? Did you guys see this? Okay, good.
I was thinking that since you're gonna have beads, that we could have a bunch of items, and for one bead, you get. And for 5 beads.
Ah, like.
That's cute.
Like candy,
Yeah.
Oh,
option
there
for
you go.
candy, turn in your beads, that's cute, I like that.
Did you happen to talk to the lady about mugs?
It is here.
Oh, that's the lady you were talking about. Got it. So we did. Okay, very good.
Really quick, Mary, I'm Joanna Jones. for
Yeah.
the record. I accidentally had no idea that I had this.
Oh.
And I was the treasurer, apparently, the first two to
Oh,
walk in the park. And when the city wanted to take it back over because, I shouldn't have been doing it, I'm not city personnel, and it was a city project. And it has sponsors' names, they downloaded everything on it.
Ooh,
So, who gave us money, who gave us whatever, so it's.
well, that's a treasure trove. That's
yeah,
awesome.
that's so
It
helpful.
is. And
Yeah,
Who gave what? to
Awesome.
donations, and so,
Oh.
to give you that.
okay, Joe, we'll take that.
Maroni.
Yeah,
Nice.
I would definitely go through
I
that.
apologize, I have no idea.
Hey, but you found it. Okay, I'm just gonna go down the list now. So September 6th, we are all good with that. Cindy, anything you want to update or give us any more info on your sign up forms?
I think I sent you.
You did.
a Cogito form mock-up.
Okay, do I need to look at it?
Yeah.
Thank you. I will.
So the reason I sent that out is, when you start talking to people that will potentially sponsor,
Mhm.
we could do payment and all of that online. And have
Okay,
them fill out a form, what they're actually giving, or
okay,
if they want to pay with a credit card.
awesome. That would be good.
So that's the reason I sent it to you.
Good,
is-
okay.
is To see whether or not it fits with whatever workflow you guys. end up.
Sure, okay, sounds good, good. I will definitely look at that, and that will help a lot, yes, and especially if we can keep it all together in one easy place, so,
Okay.
yeah, I like that, okay. Very good. So we haven't decided on T-shirts, that's still our big discussion or decision, T-shirts, water bottles, mugs. I have not a real strong opinion one way or another, if anybody has. Do we want to ruminate one more month? Should we ruminate one more month? I think we could.
Yeah,
Maybe each of us look into something, see if you come up.
And none of that has to be made public because it can be a decision that we make in September.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
people are
God
gonna come
forbid.
in- people can Still come and enjoy the event.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Now, if you're gonna do a T-shirt, yeah.
yeah.
yeah, you have to do that.
Or cups that have pictures and stuff. I
Yeah.
could make a post on the community page asking what people would be more likely to want.
Oh, no, I wouldn't do that. That, I think you might open up a can of worms there.
They'd be asking for a lot of different types of
Yeah,
things.
yeah, I don't think it would really help you all that.
There's a way to do it in a poll way where they can't write anything, they can just vote.
Yeah, I don't think this is necessarily the forum though for this is just my personal opinion, for a poll. It's not. I think it's a decision that we can make internally. And we don't have there's not a huge amount of participants, from the city.
Yeah.
And it's not a lot of money that the city, it's not the taxpayers or the city, the taxpayers' funds that are really funding all this. It's a donation. So again, that's just my opinion. You
I
guys
think
have
we
any?
should let her do whatever she wants.
Well, I don't know about that, within reason.
It would work. You might come back and say, so great.
Well, I don't want to be right or wrong, I just don't want us to be open ourselves to, I don't know. My concern is that if we ask a lot of questions, and maybe this is wrong, if we ask for something on something kind of simple like this, first of all, I think it calls into question our ability to make a decision on something pretty simple. And I think we should be able to do that. We're all adults. And it, I wouldn't want us to be open to getting a lot of, what are you guys wasting money on? Just a lot of negative criticism, because I don't think that we've had a lot of negative criticism regarding this walk already. And I think we need to try to really avoid that.
I do have a question, that we
Thank
can
you, Cindy.
find out. Do you guys know the statistics on who bought the shirts last year, what age they were?
What age?
The last 2 years were all adults.
All adults,
Mhm.
had older, middle, young adults,
In general, Toledo's a little on the older
older
side.
side?
Yeah.
Because coffee cups would be great, because a lot of people drink coffee. And shirt wise, I'm not sure people would wear shirts again.
I'm a big fan of that because they can also be reused.
Yeah.
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 I like
I like
coffee
water
cups.
bottles too.
Water bottles are great too.
Although maybe people have enough water bottles too.
The only downside is the sponsorship. If if you're wanting to offer that, visibility to a sponsor.
Right.
So,
Okay. Why don't, let's see, so any suggestions how you want to go forward? I'd be happy, we could take till the next meeting, come back with some prices maybe of some things, I would just have to go online and shop. I don't know if you
Yeah.
guys know something else. You have some information about mugs, correct? Okay, you want to share that with us?
Well, if you want travel tumblers, the 20-inch kind, they have the lid on them, those would just the cost of the materials would be $7.72.
Okay,
That's not the cost of making them. A mug with or without a lid is in the neighborhood of just under $3. A 15-ounce mug with a lid is about $3.25, and these are all cost figures, not, labor included with it. T-shirts is a whole lot more, but if you don't wanna go that way, I won't waste your time.
Right. Well, I'd like to know the cost per item, the total cost, not just the cost of supplies. We need to know the end result. And can we see a picture of them? And would there be a logo or like a picture of, can we put a picture of Esther or put the Esther Border Walk in the Park? Can we do something on them?
Of course,
Oh, okay,
yeah, if you send me the artwork that you want, since it would be a sublimation project, you can do it in all of the colors and what have you.
okay. Why don't you, can you then work up the cost of those items? And is there a breakdown if we order 25 or 50? Is there a cost break on anything like that?
I'll see if there's, bulk orders are typically 100 and more.
Okay,
I don't think that's what you're interested in.
okay. No, I don't think we need that many of them. Right,
Oh,
right.
you don't put a date.
Yeah, but then did somebody forget to bring them out the next year like they did for the Cheese Festival last year?
I don't know.
Well, I think
I
the
don't know
point
what that
is, it is a memento.
Yeah.
And so, 10th annual.
Yeah. Yeah, it is kind
I
of
still
cool.
like the t-shirt.
Yeah.
And because you're advertising, my husband still wears his, I
Yeah.
mean, they're rad. It's
They're probably the
something
most
everybody
comfortable.
wears around,
Mhm.
you know.
Mhm.
Well, the thing with the T-shirt is if you do a T-shirt, then you could put the logo for the event on the front.
Yeah.
And then you
So,
could have.
Mary, do you wanna show-
Yeah,
T-shirt that I brought for you.
sure. Here's one that we have. Oh, I might have got water. Sorry, yeah, I can unfold better than I can fold, let me just say, here. That's.
Front.
And just
So
so
one of the
different
rubs,
color.
one of the rubs last year is that logo.
Was
the
wrong.
Family was not used,
Mhm.
and
Oh,
Yeah,
So
so we
that-
have to make sure we do that,
at least be able to use that.
yeah,
And then
Yeah.
the back, yeah, and then the
And
back.
then show
was-
back just has all the names.
right,
And Mike, those were $50 a piece in the past, the sponsor listing?
Yes, yeah.
yeah, okay,
My spot.
This is a really
Okay.
good quality shirt.
It is.
I like
They
that
are
it's
nice
not,
shirts.
it's not thick.
they are
it's
nice
I like
shirts,
that.
yeah. Yeah, okay, okay. Did you order these last year?
No, the city did.
The city did, okay.
I designed it.
Okay. And you mentioned something, Mike, too, that the Cheese Days were making their own T-shirts?
Mhm.
Did you, and you mentioned that you might talk to them about that, or what was there? They just
Yeah.
said, oh, heck no?
No, that was,
Did we say no?
before my vacation, I forgot.
No worries. No, I didn't do anything since the last time I talked to you guys, so. No worries, okay, okay, well, let's just come back next time with maybe each of us bring a little more information and a couple more things to choose from, and then we'll make a decision next time. How's that sound, you guys?
Sounds great.
Does that sound, everybody? And if you, please, Sandy here, right? Okay, if you would please give us some more information so that we can, figure that into our
You want to
expenses.
get quotes for T-shirts as well?
Yeah, please. Mhm.
And then on the T-shirts, you want them to have something on the front and on the back.
Mhm. Please. Yeah, yeah.
Mike, do you remember, some years ago, Mr. Ramsey bought a whole bunch of glasses? That were Toledo, and it's all people walking around, and it says something on like Toledo moving or Toledo walking.
Keep on kicking.
Keep on
Stuff,
kicking,
so-
yeah. Well, I ended up buying some of those, and I had given them out as gifts for people that have come to the city
Mhm.
for different things.
Still kicking.
Yeah, but I'm wondering, I have a few, and I'll give them to you to give out as gifts or awards, because according to that, we used to do that for the oldest walker, the youngest walker.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And all of that, so I'll see how many I have, but I know I have some.
Oh, nice.
That would be
And-
amazing.
Yeah,
I'm wondering, where the other Toledo, as long as it doesn't say Toledo, Ohio,
right?
And that's where he got them from, is Ohio.
that's where this was.
Really?
Just triggered my mind,
Yeah.
thinking,
Oh.
Boxes
there
and
might be
boxes.
stuff out there that we can,
That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
like every,
Okay, good, good. And so, okay, we'll come back next, because I have to say, I was not, I did nothing but look at a T-shirt and look at I actually looked at the T-shirt I got one from Mike that was the first walk in the park. And I looked, and there were quite a few sponsors. It was really nice. There were so many sponsors. A lot of them, I'm fairly new here, so I didn't know a lot of them, and I think a lot of them aren't in business anymore. Yeah, so, but it was a fun experience for me to go, oh, I don't know that. So we'll come back next month. We'll table this for now. Keep working on it. You're awesome.
I just have one more thing to add about it.
Please.
Mr. Bordy, my neighbor, who's the granddaughter of
Oh,
her,
yes. Mhm.
she wanted to know, if you guys are planning on doing a speech. She said that's the one thing that she missed was last
We
year.
did talk about that. Mhm.
Speech.
We did talk about that.
Okay.
So, and that's why I think you were gonna talk to them, because you were gonna see if they wanted to say something or what.
They do.
They do.
They do want
Okay.
to say something. They also want you to say something
Okay.
too. And then they do want to have the Chronicle come down and interview the family
Okay,
before the event. And then she said she wanted some kind of end speech before it's over.
okay,
And that's usually just
Anyway. okay, we'll do all that. Very good. Is there anybody? Can anybody recommend somebody that's in the city? Mike, did you know Esther? I would, for somebody on behalf of the board or the city to talk, that would be great. I 100% support that. I would like it to be somebody that actually knew her. I don't want to do it. So would you be willing to, or unless you want to identify somebody else that might be willing
I
to,
didn't know very well.
Okay.
That's-
okay. If there's anybody else, does anybody else know anyone that knew her? Okay, let's ask
someone to
around.
speak.
Yeah. It can be short. It does, just to, get people out there excited and ready to charge around the park.
Mary?
Yes.
I realize this isn't Robert's Rules of Order, but when you were talking about the survey before, there are some downsides to doing a survey. I was an assistant superintendent of a school district, and I did surveys out the other.
Mhm.
But a couple of the pluses that it can do is, number one, it lets people feel like they have a voice.
Mhm.
And number two, it gives them a kind of save the date kind of thing. They were thinking of, the walk in the park is gonna be on these days. We're thinking of possible perks for the event. Which one of these four would you like? One with the greatest majority will be the one we choose.
Wait, very good. Thank you for that input. I appreciate it. We will keep that in mind too, as we go forward. Good.
It also has people actually save the date
Mhm.
if they see that.
Okay. Thank you. Anything else on the walk in the park? Okay. Okay. And let's see, last but not least, then on to other business. Dr. Sandy Hare is here to talk to us about her efforts for the Toledo cleanup, the annual cleanup.
We'll get used to being on the top. Excuse me, I'm having some back trouble right now, so moving slower than usual. Yes, we are having Toledo Community Cleanup Day again. It will be on May 31st. Right, there's room for you. And Mike wrangled me into it. I volunteered to be a liaison to talk to City Hall, and guess where that got me?
We all understand that.
So it will be on the 31st. I'm going to go around contacting businesses to see if we can get some sponsorships. We will need those if we want to do a lunch like we've done in the past. The Lions Club doesn't want to sign on to it at this point in time because it competes with a similar event that they have another time of year. So I'll be contacting businesses, I'll be contacting schools and churches, primarily with them to find out what sorts of things they need and to give them a heads up to possibly solicit their memberships for volunteers as well.
Mhm.
It'll be an all-day thing. There's a morning shift, there's an afternoon shift. And if we can have the lunch, we'll have that in the middle. And in addition to lunch, I'm trying to rustle up some raffle items. So, something else to get people involved. Mike and I have talked about shirts or mugs for that event, but since there's so much of it going on, I'm looking around, okay, so A, we don't have a budget for this. B, we don't know if there's any money for this. And C, we've got the mugs and the shirts for everybody else going on. What else can I do?
Yeah,
My business is a Cricut business and I can do just about anything with Cricut. So I looked into keychains. Has anybody done keychains of late? Nope, okay. Well, they're smaller, people could just grab them. They don't take much money to make, so they fit into our category and it'll be on the discussion points that I raised with Vision Toledo this evening.
Okay.
So, but people would come, we've got a list of projects. I literally with my son drove around town, doesn't take too long. And noticed the things that needed fixing. So I have to get permissions for some, like the Head Start Learning Center. And other stuff I checked out with the city and what have you.
okay,
So we're working on the list, we're working on registration. We already have a save the date out there on the Facebook, whatever it is that Melody does. And now we are going to open it up to registration because we're going to start this campaign and people can register online. And we'll go from there. I've been in the town a little over a year. I've never done this before since they didn't do it last year. We're gonna see how it goes.
okay, good, very good. So you're working with Public Works and City Hall to make for when it's involving city property, yes?
Well, don't know if I would say working with. Rachel and Carly, up until the point that she left this week to go get married, shame on her. Anyway, have answered questions for me.
Okay,
They haven't got specific about the stuff they can do. Rachel told me today that the city can't pay for a dumpster for us to put debris in for the various projects because it's being sponsored by Vision Toledo and there's a liability issue.
Okay. okay,
So, one more thing to worry about, but
Yeah.
they're just new challenges.
right,
As far as Public Works is concerned, I have contacted, Lewis County Transit. And what we wanted to do was make it a whole, well, my vision was to make it a whole month-long event culminating with the cleanup day for the community so that we could clean up neighborhoods as well. And I wanted to have recycling for electronics and for tires and paint and debris and recycling and all of those other things. But LeMay, well, they do some of it with LeMay. Transit Authority is booked up for the time periods that we were interested in. And so we're thinking about, if you look down in the bottom left-hand corner, it says the Great Toledo Neighborhood Cleanup and Garage Sale. We're thinking there, I know everybody tries to have a garage sale around Cheese Festival days, but frankly, I have experienced that. And if you go to Cheese Festival, you don't have much energy to go to garage district. So we're thinking of having a garage sale community-wide, not in one place, but just, we're gonna help you advertise it. And so we'll have a garage sale, but it would be a month-long endeavor unless we could get all of those bins here on the same day, and I don't think that's advisable.
Mm.
We're still looking into that, one thing at a
Okay.
time.
okay. I know, Emily, may I ask you because you did coordinate a bunch of the disposable.
3 years.
Yeah, yeah. And so Emily did work with the Lewis County Refuse and set that up. We've had it over at Wallace Pond for a number of years. So if you had questions, she might be able to
Okay,
help you.
yeah, I contacted them and their concern was that the area that they had the last time it was here was not an enclosed secure area. And so people were dumping off stuff after hours and it wasn't stuff that was acceptable. And so then the disposal company was
Right.
responsible for getting rid of it.
Okay, okay,
So we have to promise that, but
Yeah.
that's as much as I've got so far.
okay, okay.
Emily, I'll give you my phone.
Yeah, that's good. Good, thank you. Any of you guys have any questions or comments? Yeah.
I just wanted to add, you're gonna make this a yearly thing? maybe,
Gonna try,
possibly.
I don't plan on leaving.
Okay. I see the sign on here, students need community service hours. I know that the high school's community service hours have to be turned in by around the 9th of May. So, and I don't know if they started again after school's over because it counts for next year, but they can't do any more after like May 9th or whatever that
Good.
one is. And then I only know that because my son's a
Your son's
senior.
doing-
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
He's
I got
required.
Marilyn's name, who's apparently the person I need to talk to at the high school.
Hmm.
And I will be approaching the schools. I'll hit her first to see what's going on and see how applicable that is.
Yeah, see if they can make an extension.
I don't know if they can make an extension to the 31st. That's getting awful close to graduation.
Yeah.
It is.
You know,
They
as a
might
former
just,
Probably
school
past
administrator,
graduation. Yeah.
Things are crazy.
You don't want to do
they
that,
might be
probably.
able to do extend it back. So if it may end on the 9th, then for the next year, it could start on the
Right.
31st.
Yeah.
Maybe,
Yeah, I will check with her, but thank you for giving me that.
no problem.
What? Anything else?
Does that just apply to seniors or is it the whole school?
It's supposed to be the whole school.
Yeah, they accumulated over the 4 years. they're there.
Yeah.
Each year you have to do more. So by the time you're a senior, you have to do 20 hours.
And I guess the only other thing is if they're doing any cleanup in any like city-owned gardens or beds, they should definitely reach out to us, the city hall or myself, because they're, do you know Brian Dennis?
Not yet. but
Common
his name is
Grounds?
Also on my. list.
Yeah, they take care of, they oversee some of the
Plant.
flower beds and stuff and the planters around, so. Before anybody digs into any of those, make sure that you know who's responsible for whatever you're doing. So,
Yeah, I
just to
have-
make sure
I
that
have the
you're.
list, as I started to say, my son and I drove through town and we made notes in various public places
Mhm.
that needed some attention, and so that's where the list started. The list won't end until the day of the event, because if somebody
Mhm.
comes up with something else, in fact, that's one of the questions on their registration form. Do you have any other areas that need attention?
Okay. And Sherry is here. Can I just ask you, are there any cautions or, suggestions when it comes to other city properties? Should she just reach out? Should she reach the city hall or to them directly, to Public Works directly, or do you want to have kind of oversight of
Yeah,
what's going on
definitely
city
have
property?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely have it come through City Hall, and I know most of like the pocket parks and stuff that Common Grounds has done. They're very cautious with that, because I know we've had in the past where people were uprooting things that were not supposed to be uprooted.
Okay.
So that is,
Well, I already gave Rachel the list of projects at least up to date,
okay, perfect,
so you can ask her for that. It's on the 2 worksheet spreadsheet that I gave her.
perfect, and I'll be meeting with her tomorrow, so.
Okay. Okay, very good.
Sherry, there was an issue on some kind of insurance or liability or
Right, I
something.
printed out the
For this.
form, and we have to provide that.
What are we providing and
$2 million coverage,
for what?
a rider on an insurance policy. Do we have an insurance policy with Vision Toledo?
No,
This would be a problem.
design that way.
Mhm.
Mhm.
You
Yeah,
may,
so
it
what's-
was talked about, I think we had briefly discussed as well, you reach out to the Lions Club and see if they'd be willing to cover the insurance, like. Umbrella you under the insurance.
So what is the insurance, what is it, if somebody?
Liability.
It's
cut their foot
liability,
off with
yeah.
a-
Yep. Since it's not a city function, the
Mhm.
city's insurance cannot cover that.
Yeah.
So you need to find
So
something.
we can't get a
Vision-
rider on your insurance.
So if Vision Toledo does not have their own insurance, you need to get with a group or
Yeah.
get insurance for that timeframe.
I have
There you go.
paperwork.
Yeah.
We have more work to do. Like I said, just another challenge.
It's a learning experience, isn't it? Thank you very much. This is great. This will be really nice. Looking forward to seeing it all happen. Yeah,
Me
Yeah,
too.
Cool.
me too.
yeah, cool. Thank you very much. Anybody else have any Yeah.
Well, enough questions.
Okay.
No questions, are you?
Oh, no, do you have a comment?
Yeah.
It's because it's time for public comments.
Okay, public comment.
So.
So, well, I'm sure I will, let's see. Look at my elderly glasses.
Hey, man.
So let's see, I did do the parks plan as well.
Thank you so
Great.
much.
My addition would to add the ospreys, not necessarily the osprey cam, because you're just looking at grass. But maybe call them river hawks, because that's like the Toledo kids are all called river hawks.
Mascot.
Okay.
And the town deer, because there are mascots too.
I love the
Okay.
deer.
And they live a little present.
And the two
Yes, they
bunnies.
do.
And the bunny.
The bunnies.
Now we've got a
Love
lot.
the bunnies.
Let's see. And, that was it. Oh, let's see. Jake said to tell you that the Lions Club was planning to do clean up the Toledo Park on May 14th. So,
Oh,
on what? May 14th.
there you go. Let's have a conversation there.
No, I didn't know. if you would do
That's
that.
Lions Club
Yeah, we
is
do it.
cleaning up Lewis, yeah,
Yeah.
on the 14th,
So
okay.
Temple's-
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
Temple's Park only, they're gonna, I think, bring their big, you know.
yeah, they do it every year.
And all their heavy and big dudes and,
Mhm.
you
Yeah,
know.
see, that was a large part of the stuff that we had on our list. That's what we know.
Yeah.
And so, it might be a really good idea to go in front of the Lions Club and present your idea as well.
Well, I did present the idea, except I don't know if it's the culture in this smaller kind of community, because I came from East Seattle area. But they wouldn't let me talk to Ethan. I had to talk to Christy, the secretary.
Oh, is Ethan gone?
No, Ethan was there. It's just that I was told I had to send an email to the secretary. And it took us a while to get connected, and she finally got back to me yesterday and said, well, the Lions isn't interested in contributing because they're doing the other thing. So as far.
Oh,
as,
okay,
you know,
okay.
what we're doing, what have you, I didn't have much opportunity to explain it to them.
okay,
Maybe in the future we come on.
Geez, man.
Yeah. that probably would be good.
Mary, before we get too far away. from
Sure.
Emily's public comment. So Emily, where are you thinking you want the inclusion of Riverhawk and deer in the introduction?
And yeah, there's a list of different animals in the introduction of what is found in Toledo.
Okay,
And there were no birds.
We have birds.
And we have.
That's
So
true.
Just the Riverhawk specifically just popped into my mind.
right,
Because we have a whole, like, couple schools full of them.
Okay.
And the town deer just eat my tulips, so I thought I'd give them a mention.
our vegetables.
If
If only they'd eat our weeds.
So I will reread the introduction and incorporate Osprey into that.
That's great, that's
And
great,
Riverhawk.
very good,
Osprey and Riverhawk are the same thing.
Yeah.
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 Here, I guess.
Good, very good. Any other public input? Yes, Joe?
Jones, the record.
Mm-hmm.
In the cleanup, I thought one of the things that we need to do is finish Steamboat Alley, as we all know.
Oh,
It needs, because there was always on the gate, there's 4 slots, there was supposed, and there's things there where things were supposed to be hung. But it never got done. So I think, what I'd like to see is, you remember, we had some of those flyers and had them put on the interpretive signage. These were for the steamboats that came. These are the
Mhm.
old
old flyers, okay,
and we can have them made, in fact, we have some that we had made yellow, like old sheets.
mm-hmm,
And they were put on the Steamboat Alley signage, the interpretive sign, but it would be nice, and we can have them on both sides. Or if we have enough of them, we can have a different one on the back and a different one on the front. I don't know
Okay.
exactly how many we have. But I thought that would be kind of fun, and it would be brightening up. It's not just the wrought iron left there, missing parts.
Right,
Yeah, and we still have the big sign. It's in my garage.
Yeah.
But, when they're done with that wall,
Yeah,
the new owners of the building.
yeah, we
Yeah.
can't do anything until that, right? Yeah,
And then we'll put that back up. I assume.
right,
I think they're done because they've got their order to move in.
No, but they were gonna refinish that wall to
Oh,
make
okay.
it more durable.
Oh, okay, probably put a.
there
spray
was
on there.
something that they had to do to it. Mhm.
Okay,
Right, right.
Yeah. so, you know, is that an okay idea for everybody on the park board? Because that is a mini park,
Mhm.
you know, but it is related to Steamboat Alley.
I-
So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like it. I actually, and I'm glad you brought that up because I had something else I meant to say and I just forgot about it. So when we had to take those crates out because they were falling apart. Well, and I volunteer at the Learning Garden and this past week we planted seeds. And so we planted
copious amounts.
a bunch of seeds. And we know that we're gonna have more than we can actually plant in our garden. And so I put it to our committee members on our board. Because we had talked about supporting one or two of those planters downtown. And so we said, well, maybe we could do 2 or 3 planters in Steamboat Alley. And that the Toledo Learning Garden would then take that on with my oversight. And so and actually somebody came up with the idea to see if the high school still has woodworking or a wood shop, if they would make us some new crates. I didn't know. So that was just on my head. We were just talking about that this week. So I was gonna pursue that a little bit.
You're talking about planters. Do you have the planters?
Well, we have the ones that we removed from in front of, that were downtown. Now, a couple of them are right out front, but there were a couple along the side somewhere, because there was. Mhm, mhm. But then and I was just thinking about using the water troughs, right?
Right.
But that's when somebody said, oh, well, maybe the school could build you some crates again. So I was like I said, this was just our discussion this Friday, so I was gonna reach out to the school and do a little bit more, get back with you guys about that.
We could use incentive and see if they'll let the kids get community service for it, since it's for Toledo.
Exactly. Mhm. We've been having them, they've actually been coming down to help us volunteer in the garden, which has been awesome.
Do we have any money though to start doing some of this beautification and fixing things up and everything?
We have a small amount. I think we have a small amount that we need to be careful about what we're doing. Mhm.
Because there'll be.
We do have our own.
Supplies and things like that.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, we do have some, so. Anyway, that's just, I'm gonna throw that out there that I'm gonna pursue, see if I can do something like that. And we were thinking, because most of what we have, I know a lot of people aren't crazy about this, but I wanna try it. Because most of what we have some flowers, but most of what we have is vegetables. So, and herbs, we have a lot of herbs and stuff, so we could do a couple different things and try some things out there.
I should let you know that, we're gonna bring it up at our, artist co-op meeting on Monday. About, the role that our artist co-op play in maintaining the jail,
Oh, okay,
because it's right next door.
right,
And hopefully, everybody will say, yeah, let's do that, and under the supervision of Brian and whoever else
Good
is
deal.
involved in
Yeah.
that. Just to mow the lawn around it. And, yeah, do stuff like that.
Okay.
We
That would
have
be awesome.
in the jail inside, there's the framework that never got installed. You know,
What, to make it an actual jail?
No, for the interpretive sign.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And
Is
you
it in
have,
the
you
jail?
have the
I have
interpretive
to
sign.
interpret.
Uh-huh.
So all we need
Okay.
to do is dig a couple of holes, put some saccharine in there, and establish that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, and I think that was the plan. I'll have more on that
Okay.
after I talk with the group, because I'm not gonna say, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah. So if, when you're talking to them, see if they'd be willing also to refurbish and keep up the prisoner, that people could take pictures.
Well, we're.
That would be kinda
we're
fun.
Kicking the idea around of expanding that to having something look like a dancing block of cheese. And you stick your head through and you. And maybe some convicts that are, I don't know, good stuff, yeah, so.
Nobody's been drinking too much.
I don't know.
No, there you go.
But we can have the good looking convict.
Yeah, there you go. That's right. That's
Put
right.
that For Tuesday.
Yes,
But if-
absolutely.
If that's okay with the city. We would like to get in there and clean that whole thing up inside.
Yeah,
It's got cobwebs and dirt and a bunch of dead pallets.
yeah,
All kinds of stuff in there that,
I think that would be great.
but.
That could be part of the cleanup. Could they do that for cleanup? We could add that,
Yeah.
the cleaning up the inside of the jail.
That space over.
Mhm.
As far as the liability thing. If Sandy says that she went to the Lions Club and they kind of on her, then.
Well, they pooped the lunch idea, but I don't know that it was going, the
Oh, no.
information was going to the right person.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so you were just talking about lunch.
Yes,
Oh, okay.
yeah, I didn't.
Well,
She hadn't approached
assumed
them, I
the
don't think,
execs had
for
the
insurance.
Foundation.
Well, yeah, for the Lions Club, yeah.
No, I mean, I thought Vision Toledo had it.
No.
They don't own it.
They're nobody.
It.
Yeah.
What insurance do you use for the wine and cheese? Your personal insurance?
Yeah, we go out and get some insurance for that.
For an occasion,
It's one
yeah.
of the expenses for
Yeah.
Tuesday.
Mhm. Okay.
And I think it was several $100s.
Yeah, it's like $250 for,
You know,
Yeah.
for 4 hours.
I
Yeah.
have liability insurance, it's up to $2 million, at least I think it's 2 million. And when I would do craft fairs in a previous endeavor, all I would have to do is go online and put in the verbiage that the company wanted to make them, insured as well, it's just as a rider, it didn't cost me anything.
They give you insurance for free?
No, I pay monthly,
Yeah.
not much, but I pay monthly.
Yeah, we have insurance, of course, on the state of landing.
Yeah.
So then we just have this extra insurance for liquor.
Yeah.
Those are more
Uh-huh.
expensive.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah. All right. Anything else? Good? No, we're good, okay. Motion to adjourn?
A motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? We're adjourned.
We need to flyer.